I'm Greg Shapiro, and let's queer up the USA View. HRC sues Trump administration over ban on gender-affirming care for federal workers. The Human Rights Campaign Foundation has filed a class action complaint against the Trump administration, challenging a policy that would deny gender-affirming health care to federal employees and their families. The complaint was filed with the U.S. Office of Personnel Management and targets changes to the federal employee health benefits and Postal Service health benefits programs that took effect at the start of the year. Under a letter sent by OPM to insurers beginning in 2026, quote, chemical and surgical modification of an individual's sex traits through medical interventions to include gender transition services will no longer be covered, end quote, with a narrow exception for people already mid-treatment. The complaint argues the policy violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, citing the Supreme Court's 2020 Bostock decision, which confirmed that sex discrimination includes gender identity. According to the HRC Foundation president, Kelley Robinson, because of this ban, quote, untold numbers of federal employees and their families will be left out to dry at the hands of a shameless administration hell-bent on targeting the transgender community, end quote. Attorney Cathy Harris added, quote, no federal employee should be discriminated against in healthcare or otherwise. The law protects them, end quote. The complaint seeks to block the policy, restore coverage, and secure damages. For me, the question is whether we can hold out until this shameless administration hell-bent on targeting the transgender community has been replaced. I, for one, hope so.
Yeah, I mean, again, we do story after story with the same messaging, which is around, again, attacks against the transgender community. I do find it, in the federal government, obviously we've had two things that have happened, of course, a mass firing of a lot of federal employees, of course. And, if you are an LGBTQ and especially someone from the trans community, what is the likelihood that you're going to seek employment in the federal government and this administration? It's going to be very low. I feel for the people that are already there and this is their livelihood, and then their medical care is now being restricted. So you're between a rock and a hard place. Do you leave your job to not have any medical care or a job, or do you stay and then have to pay out of pocket for the services that you need to for gender affirming care
elsewhere?
Yeah. On the other side of the government side, a lot of military folks were kind of let go for being trans and being outed, and then to be able to serve like 19 years and then have to be told to get out and you don't get to retire. Like that's all the worst possible thing you could do. So
it'll be interesting to see if a lot of these, if and when we get through this, I won't say when we get through this administration and there is a policy change, if all these people will then be able to go back to sue the federal government to reinstate or to get damages that were caused. Again, I would imagine our government is going to be the class action lawsuit target for every other organization if we can get through, or once we get through the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, there'll be billboards on 95.
Call this lawyer.
Yes.